DryMax Extra is a super absorbent dressing. It's designed to go on highly draining wounds. What we're trying to do with this dressing is absorb a large amount of drainage and then keep that drainage inside the dressing as opposed to sitting on the skin. The indications for our DryMax super absorbent dressing are arterial ulcers, venous ulcers, diabetic ulcers, pressure ulcers, and lymphedema, or any wound that experiences a high amount of drainage. DryMax is available in 3 sizes. We've got a 4x4 that'll absorb about 100 cc's of drainage. We've got a 4x8 that'll do about 200 cc's of drainage. And we have an 8x8 that'll do about 300 cc's of drainage. Something I should say about this dressing is that you can't put it on wrong. It doesn't matter which side you put it on. There's no wrong way to apply it. When applying DryMax, clean the wound however you like to do so, and then this is going to go directly in contact with the wound bed so that drainage can get to it. So you're going to conform it to your limb, and then you're going to secure it with a secondary dressing of your choice. Please keep in mind that it's going to absorb a large amount of drainage. It's going to lock that drainage inside the dressing, but along with that, I think it's also good to remember that it's going to take bacteria and odor as well. It's going to capture those in the dressing, and then when you remove that dressing, it's going to take all that bad stuff with it. We're going to do a test with our 4x4 DryMax. I've got 100 cc's of fluid here. What I'm trying to show you is what DryMax would do when introduced into a very wet wound. Keep in mind it is a super absorbent, that's what it's for. So we're going to drop it in. Again, we've got 100 cc's of drainage here. We're going to try to flatten it out on the bottom so it can fully get to it. And please keep in mind when you're watching this demonstration that wounds don't generally function this way, but we want to do it in real time, and what we're trying to show you is how fast the DryMax core does absorb fluid. So we're going to let it sit. We're going to move it around a little bit more just to make sure it can get every little bit of it. And hopefully you can see that fluid is starting to go down. So we're going to pull that DryMax out. We're going to give it a second. And if you look closely, you can see those gel crystals. They're kind of drying out, continuing to dry out. You can see it's dry to the touch on the outside. We'll give it just another minute. I'm going to give it a squeeze, and we're going to see what happens. Show you that it got all that fluid. I'm going to give it a squeeze. See, nothing comes out, nothing's on the table. It's dry to the touch. So it's not going to leak any sort of drainage onto that peri-wound area. It's going to keep that skin around the wound healthy, not going to cause any maceration.